I want to talk about what's different about the new RX7 carbon bow than the other bows in the past, which right off the bat, this is the best carbon bow I think I've ever shot. I haven't spent that much time with the PSE yet from this year. I found myself, ever since I've had this, going back and forth between this one and the Matthews, and the Prime has literally just sat on the shelf. This thing's just been super enjoyable to shoot. It was really easy and quick to set up. Just no issues, you know, like it was really just easy to get everything tuned out of. I think the 34-inch axle to axle and the 7-inch brace height makes a really comfortable and forgiving platform for me. So that's kind of just like a happy place. So let's talk about what they did different this year than what they did last year. The HBX Pro cams are different for this year, which they're saying are a little bit faster. They seem like they might be just a hair more durable. They've got a little bit more material on the back end here, which apparently is to bring the cam around faster. Apparently near the tail end, it creates a little bit more whip. I don't notice any difference really between the draw on this one and the draw on the Ventum 33 that I shot most of last year. I would say they're pretty comparable, and I think that they say the exact same thing, that basically on their, you know, they have a computer program that shows the actual draw curve. They're saying it's basically the same. For me, at the very tail end, there's that little drop off into the back wall that always seems to happen, even if I'm at 80% let off. It just, what are you going to do? You're pulling a 70-pound bow that's going to drop into a 14-pound bow, and it does it in about that much distance, it seems like. So I always get a little bit of that shimmy shake that has to recover at the very end. But overall, it's a super comfortable cam to shoot. I think the next thing that's really cool about this bow, about it just being kind of the next step in the kind of RX journey that Hoyt has taken, everything integrates into this bow better than it has before. The Picatinny mount for the scope, the dovetail mount for the rest, the way the limb pockets actually attach to the carbon, everything just seems like they've done a better job. The way the grip integrates in, I'm looking at it to make sure I'm not missing anything, but kind of you get the point. Overall, it's like they just really dialed in the details and really made sure that every attachment point on here really made sense and was really well executed. It's super clean. I think the next thing that needs to be talked about is the new grip. Hoyt has always used kind of a harder plastic contoured grip that to me kind of forced my hand into a specific position. Like it was like, this is how we want you to shoot this bow. This grip does not do this. This grip gives you a lot more latitude to be able to kind of shoot the way you want to shoot. It's a softer rubber. Apparently it's 4 degrees less steep. I'm not sure what attachment method they used. I'm assuming it's just some kind of adhesive that's on there, but I would imagine that you could pull this off and then you could pop a secondary aftermarket grip on here. But I didn't find a need to want to pull the grip off and change it out at all. I've really enjoyed this grip so far this year. I'm not sure if Josh with Spokane Valley sent me some of the extras that you actually have to buy aftermarket. I'm going to do some research and maybe I'll put some graphics here. But the accessories that come for this bow this year are really cool. Like you've got the little swizzle stick mount here thing that helps you stand the bow up, kind of like the Matthews Engage limbs. You can see the way I've got the front bar mounted vertically right now, so that if you were putting it on your pack, you could actually take that thing up into the mountains. And there are like cutter stabilizers. His bracket does the exact same thing there. And I really like that. And the Hoyt one came with it. Came with the RX7, so it's kind of a swizzle stick attachment along with the actual front bar. The back bar attachment is The first time I got this out on the Venom last year, I was like, oh no, this thing is going to be so janky. It's going to fail all the time. I have not had any issues with it. And it is small, and for a back bar mount, it's actually really inexpensive. It's like $50 compared to the majority of the good back bar mounts, which are like $200. The new quiver that they came out with, I don't have it with me, but they've got dual attachment points for that. It can keep it really tight, and because you're getting that Picatinny mount where your scope's not off to the side anymore, you can keep that everything much tighter to the bow. And that's kind of a theme that we're noticing with a lot of the, the bridge lock system for the Matthews and the Picatinny mount for the Hoyts. Everybody's kind of bringing stuff into the center of the riser so that you're not having to go with such steep angles on your back bar, or potentially not even need them. To me, the reason you would buy a carbon bow is because you want it to be lighter. And to be fair, totally rigged out, this thing is a half a pound lighter than the Matthews that I've been shooting primarily this year. That's like me getting it to hold exactly like I want it to hold. It's, all the ounces that I'm using on the front and back bar, it's the swizzle sticks, it's the whole deal, half pound lighter. So a half pound is a half pound. Like if you're an ounce counter and you're going in the mountains, this may be something that would be valuable to you. So I'm sure I titled this video something like the RX7, Hoyt's best carbon bow, and why I still wouldn't buy it. The reason I would not buy this bow, this is the reason right here. $1,900 for the RX7, $1,300, $1,400, $1,200, $1,100, a lot cheaper. All you're saving is a half a pound, and this bow is every bit as good as the RX7.
All right, listen, I recognize that this was like it was kind of like an intro to the RX7. There wasn't like a crazy big deep review that sometimes I'll do on these things. I'm not phoning it in. I've got a plan for the future, little comparison, bunch of stuff going on with all the bows. Thanks for watching. I'm Brandon McDonald.